So we're coming down to the end, if you'll indulge me for a few more minutes. Prometheus stole fire from Mount Olympus and returned it to humankind. He did so at great risk and ultimately at great cost. For eternity, Zeus condemned Prometheus to having his liver consumed daily by an eagle and regenerated each night. Today, we face similar promise and peril. As fire was to early humans, so we now acquire the ability to marshal natural forces more potent than we ever imagined. We begin to direct our own evolution with greater specificity and certainly with more powerful intended and unintended consequences. By some accounts, poor Prometheus was rescued by Hercules after millennia of suffering. As Rob Swan asserted earlier today, with greater power must come greater responsibility. Who will rescue us, if not ourselves? I would like now to outline a fundamental, even defining challenge facing humanity for the remainder of the 21st century. For all of human history, at all times, in all places, we have lived in contexts of scarcity and opacity. Limited resources fundamental to life, and a blind-like ability to see beneath outward appearances, an inability to consider beyond the near in both time and space. Over the next few generations, we will proceed to a new context of plenty and transparency. Consider that within 50 years, energy will be free or nearly so. Technology will enable us to sense, assess, and act on data at ever more granular levels across any environment we desire. As Moran Cerf described, even our innermost thoughts are at risk of being revealed and shared. None of our human systems, cultural, social, political, economic, or faith-based, have developed to cope in such a context. They have all evolved to help us manage through scarcity and opacity. We have no cultural, social, or economic systems capable of supporting our pursuit of happiness in a context of plenty and transparency. Our existing human systems will become increasingly stressed and ill-suited to emerging realities. Some will evolve, others will not. But we can be sure human society a century hence will be quite different, even fundamentally so, than the societies which have evolved over the past 10,000 years. While I am an optimist, I am not proposing that our world will become paradise. Immense challenges await when we are confronted with nearly limitless resources and capabilities, many challenges we have yet to envision. Humans are notorious for failing to make good decisions when faced with abundance. Witness our worldwide epidemic of obesity. This condition emerged in large part because we have evolved in a context of scarcity, whereas now many of us exist in a context of plenty. We have yet to understand how to cope. In our not too distant future, there will truly be no excuse for any human being to lack the necessities of life. But will they anyway? How will we allocate the benefits of this emerging world? And what will each society, each individual do with them? I predict that while our long-term future looks blindingly bright, our paths through the next couple of generations will be fraught with peril. Over the intervening years, technology will enable greater concentration of wealth in fewer hands. We've seen this before during the Industrial Revolution. However, this concentration will happen at greater scale and at a faster pace due to globalization and digitization. Our disastrous presidential election this year in the United States is a manifestation of the earliest days of this transition. As we unlock and apply the laws of physics, changing not only our capabilities and contexts, but also our genetic and cognitive capabilities, might we also change what it means to be human? As our technologies attain the ability not just to perform rote tasks, but to make judgment calls, and even to acquire what we might call creativity or ethics, early examples of which already exist, what will remain unique to being human? A perhaps unexpected consequence of the advance of science and technology is a commensurate intensification of the importance of metaphysics, philosophy, and faith. Asking why. Rather than banishing metaphysics to the realm of pseudoscience, as philosophers from at least David Hume onward have proposed, metaphysical questions become even more essential. Why do we exist? What does it mean to be human? Is anything uniquely human? Do these questions even matter? In a world where machines can create, I wondered what might remain ours. Perhaps the aesthetic experience of the world, of art or ideas or the desire to create. One could imagine, though, even that being mimicked by technology. Will there be any realm of humanness that will remain unattainable to our creations? While considering these questions over the past year of designing Kin Global 2016, I received two cues. For some reason, over and over again, the Schubert sonata with which we opened the program, Schubert's last sonata, kept reoccurring in my mind over and over for months. I never knew why or when. I'd find myself humming it, imagining it, retrieving the piece online for a listen. It informed the design of this event in ways I cannot understand. Perhaps arising out of the awe I felt for Schubert's work, I also experienced the nagging desire to create something of my own for this program. Now, AI systems, artificial intelligence, can already create pieces of art that mimic our work. David Krakauer's Santa Fe Institute has an open competition similar to the Turing test, but for AI-generated creativity. Can independent experts determine whether or not a piece of art has been created by a human or a computer? This is simultaneously exciting and terrifying. Perhaps this desire to create, rising at unpredictable intervals, might be something that might remain unique to us. So I leave you with some thoughts in the form of sounds. Understand, please, that I am not a musician nor a composer. I do this for fun on my own. My family has been subjected to it for months now, and they've been quite helpful in this process. So if you'll provide me with a little bit of license, I'd like to share something with you. See you next year.